Right now, a West Side road is showing signs of what was a brutal winter. What's keeping the city from fixing this extremely rough patch of Raymond Road?
And new information tonight about the shooting inside a Colorado school. One of the victims has died as police make 2 arrests.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
First tonight, we do have breaking news out of our Channel 3000 Alert Center.
News 3 Now has confirmed through 2 sources with ties to the school district that the Madison School District Superintendent Jennifer Cheatham is planning to announce her resignation tomorrow. Amy Reed joins us now to explain what we know now. Amy?
Cheatham took office 6 years ago last month in 2013. Right now, we don't know why this decision is being made, but our sources tell us it was Cheatham's decision. But this news comes after a tumultuous few months at the district. You'll remember back in February, there was an incident between an 11-year-old African-American student and an older white administrator that led to a lot of backlash in the district, both in how the teachers in the district as a whole work with students of color and in Cheatham's handling of the situation before the administrator resigned by writing a letter condemning his actions before the video was released. Also, more recently, the district has been criticized for its handling of sexual assault allegations. Here's what she said when we asked her about this within the past 2 weeks.
Because of what's happened this year, we're going to be continuing our work with the Rape Crisis Center to figure out what else we can do together.
We hope to learn more about the reasoning here and what the plan is for the district tomorrow when there is a press conference scheduled.
Amy Reed reporting tonight. Amy, thank you very much.
New information tonight about a school shooting outside of Denver. One of the 8 people who were shot has died. Shortly before 2 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, shots rang out inside the STEM school in Highlands Ranch. That's less than 10 miles, by the way, from Columbine High School. The building went into lockdown as a massive police response got underway.
There was shots fired. Our officers went in and we engaged the suspects. We currently have 2 suspects in custody.
Investigators have not identified the gunmen, but said both of them do attend that STEM school.
Next Thursday, the city of Madison is hosting a free class intended to prepare people for an active shooter situation. According to the city's website, the training includes a statistical breakdown of active shooter events, historical case studies, and tabletop scenario discussions with experts from the Madison Police Department. It'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. at the city's Police Training Center. That's on Femrite Drive. Additional training will take place in August and also in November of this year. To weather now, there is an alert day tomorrow. It could be downright nasty out there. Meteorologist Dana Fulton joining us with a closer look. Dana?
Right now things are quiet and we will stay quiet for the next few hours, but we do have storms on the horizon and a lot of rain moving in for your Wednesday. Doppler radar showing not much moving through southern Wisconsin, but if we look through the plains, all of those storms right now just sliding through Kansas and starting to enter into Nebraska will continue their track northeast, and by tomorrow we're expecting significant rainfall. Very windy conditions also. Warmer air well to the south. It is a little cool outside for us currently in Madison. Temperatures have fallen to about 45 for Madison and in Janesville, about 50 in Mineral Point right now, 48 in Platteville. There is a bit of a breeze coming from the northeast. We're looking at that wind speed anywhere from 6 to 12 miles per hour overnight. So it'll be a little breezy early in the morning, but those wind gusts tomorrow could pick up to almost 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow, plan on a very chilly day. Temperatures will barely get into the low 40s, and we will have scattered showers all day long, and that could lead anywhere to an inch or even 2 inches of accumulation for us in Dane County. So we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead through the rest of the weekend this weekend in just a few minutes.
Sounds great. Thank you, Dana. New tonight, we have some bittersweet news to share from the widow of a fallen Milwaukee police officer. The wife of Matthew Rittner is expecting a baby girl. One of Officer Rittner's former co-workers promised her that the department would always support her family.
She knows that she can come anytime and knock on our door. She doesn't even have to. We're going to be there bothering her all the time anyway. She'll probably have to kick us out of the house most of the time.
Now, Officer Rittner was gunned down while serving a search warrant in February. The baby is due in October. Another baby announcement here in Wisconsin. Republican U.S. Representative Sean Duffy and his wife Rachel are expecting their 9th child. He posted late last night on his official U.S. House website that the baby's coming this fall. He goes on to write that he and his wife aren't crazy. They're just full of hope for the country's future. The Republican has represented the 7th district in northwestern and central Wisconsin since 2011. It's the state's largest geographical district, covering all or part of 20 counties.
The former bus driver for the Partyville School District is facing sexual assault charges. Prosecutors say 74-year-old Gary Dean Edwards inappropriately touched young girls while working as a bus driver. According to the criminal complaint, 3 girls came forward. They say Edwards would touch them in their private areas. Edwards told detectives his hands may have slipped. The school district says the bus company contracts with, is in charge of hiring or firing employees. Edwards told the detectives that he retired in December. The school superintendent there said he had no idea any of this was going on until he read about it in the newspaper yesterday.
We've never been informed. We knew that they came and did some questioning, but we had no idea there was an investigation going on. We had no idea there was an arrest made. I mean, what would I tell parents? I have nothing I had nothing to tell them until I read the paper this morning.
No one from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office was able to comment on this today. Edwards is due back in court June 25th. If convicted, he faces a sentence of up to 120 years.
A Janesville man is being held on a $5,000 cash bond tonight following a deadly crash over the weekend. Thomas Bloom was formally charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle during his first court appearance today. He's accused of killing the passenger in his car after driving drunk the wrong direction on Highway 14. A criminal complaint says his blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit. The driver of the other car was also taken to the hospital with injuries. Investigators up in Oshkosh are looking into what caused a fire that destroyed an iconic bar overnight. This happened at the intersection of Main Street and Irving Avenue. Mabel Murphy's is a local landmark. The fire scorched that bar and a neighboring apartment complex where authorities believe it may have started. Everyone got out safely. So we were finally out of winter, or so we think at this point, but it's hard to tell if you drove on some of our roads.
Yeah, many of them are still showing signs of the brutal winter, and not every city is able to fix them. Amy Reed shows us one stretch on Raymond Road on Madison's west side where that is abundantly clear.
After a long winter, Shizo's truck needs some work.
Tires a bit flat, but a little bit squeaky, battery's kind of not the greatest.
This season was not kind to it, but winter hardly is. Especially to the road one house down. That is, unless you drive the other way.
As soon as I cross the other side, it's nice and smooth. And of course, across my side of the border, it's nice and rough coming back home.
The reason why is really a tale of two cities, the best of roads and the worst of roads. One managed solely by the city of Madison, and the other a Madison-Fitchburg split, with Fitchburg saying they're doing all they can.
There's places all over the city, Fitchburg Road, Whalen Road. There's a lot of roads that just kind of fell apart with the winter that we had.
They're trying to keep up, filling the potholes on Raymond Road and others too, but with so many to fill, they don't have enough money to also resurface the road, at least not yet.
We had planned on doing the road in 2021, actually 2022, but because of the conditions of the road this winter, it just accelerated everything, and we're looking to move that up.
Now he says the road will be repaired next year in 2020, even if people who drive it don't want to wait that long.
I have a big truck. It's not going to hurt me much, but for those who are it's a nice looking vehicle, it may blow a tire or whatnot for them.
It's Amy Reed reporting there. Between now and then, Fitchburg says they'll keep an eye on this stretch of the road, and if the weather keeps up, they'll be able to use a hot mix, which fills and sticks around a little better.
Yeah, it's been a brutal stretch for our roads. Well, down in Florida today, crews worked to pull a Miami Air Boeing 737 out of the St. Johns River. That plane crash landed. The plane crash landed Friday night. 143 people were on board this plane. All passengers were able to get off that plane safely. And National Transportation Safety Board investigators say about 1,600 gallons of fuel was inside that plane when it crashed, but an undetermined amount spilled into the water there. The city breaking ground today in Madison for a new $25 million 112-unit affordable housing development. It'll be going up at the former location of the Penny Library on Cottage Grove Road. 95 of these 112 units will be designated for individuals or families earning no more than 60% of the Dane County median income. The New York Times reporting that a decade of President Trump's tax documents show his businesses lost more than $1 billion over 10 years. The Times published that report tonight based on figures from the president's tax documents from 1985 through 1994. The paper reports his losses were so great that he avoided paying income tax for 8 years that decade. It is important to note the New York Times information came from a variety of sources, including someone with legal access to the president's tax returns. The paper did not obtain the actual returns.
In honor of Travel and Tourism Week here in Wisconsin, Governor Evers and Tourism Secretary designee Sarah Meany got their ice cream and chocolate milk fix at Sassy Cow Creamery today. The company recently announced that they're tripling the size of that retail business. Sassy Cow's co-owner says the communities around the creamery are growing, so they need to keep growing too.
We really want to be the community dairy. We want to be the farm. The people, when they think of milk, they think of Sassy Cow. And so we keep doing a better job and working harder at and making that happen.
And in the spirit of Tourism Week, just yesterday, the state's Department of Tourism said that visitors spent more than $21 billion in Wisconsin in 2018. That's a significant increase from the previous year. Still ahead tonight, making something new out of something old. A Janesville man is repurposing parts of the old GM plant.
Plus, celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week with a little horsepower. The story from Oconto Falls when we come back. Stay with us.
Welcome back. U.S. stocks tumbled on Wall Street today, finishing deep in the red as markets reacted to the risk of a full-scale trade war between the U.S. and China. It came on the heels of President Trump's repeated threats Sunday and Monday to impose more tariffs on Chinese imports. You might have a tough time catching a ride during surged hours tomorrow as Lyft and Uber drivers are preparing to strike. People who work for those two ride-sharing companies say they will turn off their ride-hail apps for 2 to 24 hours. Drivers say they want livable wages, regulated fares, and job security. They say the founders of Lyft and Uber have gotten rich while they are labeled as contractors and denied full employee benefits. There will reportedly be protests in at least 8 U.S. cities. Those include L.A., Chicago, Boston, and Philadelphia.
A hospital in Platteville is warning people about a new scam that is being sent directly to people's cell phones. Southwest Health says the scammer sends a text saying that a relative is at the hospital. Officials with the hospital said Southwest Health will never message you about an ill family member. The hospital suggested that if you do receive one of those texts, you should simply delete it. Do not click the link or reply to that text. If your family's doctors are in the Marshfield Clinic Health System or Gunderson Health System, they could soon be merging. The two organizations announced today they will spend the coming months working out details that would create a health system with more than 2,000 clinicians, more than 18,000 employees. This weekend, those who had fond memories of the old GM plant in Janesville were able to get a brick or two as a memento.
One Rock County man is hoping to keep its legacy alive in a little bit of a different way. Chris Wells is using wood from the old plant and transforming it into clocks. For years, Chris and his late father built clocks together using everything from wooden pews at old churches to the old bleachers at Camp Randall. Wells says he plans on building close to 3,000 of these clocks and says he will have the first 100 or so ready by the beginning of next month.
It is Teacher Appreciation Week, and every school shows its support for our educators in different ways. At St. Anthony Catholic School in Oconto Falls, the teachers there were in for an unexpected treat. The school principal instructed students to blindfold their teachers, walk them to the parking lot, and then once outside, a fleet of Corvettes gave this Teacher Appreciation Week, well, a little more horsepower. Every teacher got a ride to lunch in style.
I always wanted one as a kid, and the one I got to choose was actually canary yellow, the color I always wanted as a kid, canary yellow Stingray. I don't get to keep it, but for an afternoon, it's a good trade-off.
And the teachers say they plan on returning the favor to their principal someday soon.
Man, what is that going to be?
2 at a time. Nobody in the back seat in that thing.
Very cool. Very cool.
Let's go to Dana. So tomorrow, we're going to feel a little blast of maybe like an early spring feel with these temperatures,
right? It's a roof up kind of day.
A roof up kind of day, early spring, like throwback to March instead of trying to move forward, which of course is what we should be doing, marching through May right now. Today, of course, we had sunshine. Temperatures climbed a little bit. We were in the upper 50s for afternoon highs. Average, though, is the mid 60s. So even though this afternoon and evening it wasn't too bad outside, still a little below average. We did start the day right where we should have been, though, in the low 40s for our overnight lows early on. Doppler track's pretty quiet currently for southern Wisconsin, really throughout the state. We're in for a quiet night. That high pressure off to the northeast has kept us quiet throughout our Tuesday. Now we're looking at our next storm system to really slide on through. The stationary front down to the south is just going to serve as the road for this area of low pressure right now, bringing very strong storms throughout the plains in Kansas. That system slides right along the stationary front, continues to bring showers and storms through the plains into the Midwest, and that's going to be the source of our rainfall for tomorrow. Early in the day, we're mostly cloudy. Showers start first on the western edge of the state and then continue on east. We are expecting moments of very heavy rain and maybe even a few strong thunderstorms mixed in there later in the afternoon. Thursday morning, we still have showers. We may deal with a few scattered showers Thursday afternoon, but most of the sky just cloudy but drying up Thursday afternoon. By Friday morning, we start to become partly sunny and we will see a little bit of sunshine by Friday afternoon. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow that stretches down towards the state line. Stronger storms expected the further south you do go, and then by Thursday, that threat passes further southeast. So we aren't expecting any strong storms to come through on Thursday. More of just a rain threat with a few rumbles of thunder for Thursday. But that severe weather threat for tomorrow, the main concern, of course, very strong wind gusts and the possibility to see some localized flooding as this rain does come through and then really doesn't stop for much of the day. Showers early in the morning. Your commute will likely take a little longer than usual because of those showers. and then we continue to see rain through the afternoon. That line of stronger storms, though, will come through later in the evening, and that's when we'll see our heaviest amount of rain and the quickest accumulation totals slide through again. That's overnight heading into Thursday. For Thursday, we have scattered showers and a mostly cloudy sky, and then we finally start to see a little clearing by Friday. As far as our rainfall totals are concerned, everywhere north and west of Madison, we'll see the highest accumulations, and then that gradient decreases to the southeast of Madison. And looking up towards La Crosse and Camp Douglas, even towards the Dells, we could see anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain. Some isolated areas could get up to 3 inches of rain between Wednesday and through Thursday. So we do have an alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. It's going to be rainy, but it's also going to be very windy outside. We could see wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour tomorrow. It's going to be very cold. Overnight low temperature of about 40 early in the day, and afternoon highs will struggle to get to the mid-40s, going with about 45 for afternoon high. By Thursday, we're in the mid-50s. Still a little rainy outside, especially in the morning. Our shower chances leave later in the day on Thursday. By Friday, our skies steadily become partly sunny. High temperatures will be back in the upper 50s, so a very similar forecast to today. And then Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny with a slight shower chance both days, but temperatures will at least be in the low 60s for both days for us. So certainly keep the umbrella on hand. Then tomorrow evening, we'll be keeping a very close eye on radar for us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, you, Dana.
All right, we'll meet the newest member of the Badger track team. Might look a little familiar. Doesn't wear all these pads, though, on the track, does he? Jonathan Taylor's newest endeavor. More about that next in sports.
Well, an interesting yet effective pitching strategy for the Brewers tonight. The team starting Adrian Hauser, who only stayed in for 2 innings, gave up 2 hits. Then Craig Counsell bringing Freddie Peralta in, who was originally supposed to get the call, but has been really successful early in games this season, so whatever works. Meanwhile, on the scoring side of the game, nothing until the 7th inning for either team. Bases loaded for Lorenzo Cain, recovering just marvelously from his bruised left hand. Everyone comes home. Cain gets to third on the errant throw. It's 3-0 Brewers. 2 batters later, it's Mike Moustakas at the plate. He goes to right center. Cain comes home. 4-0 Brewers. They score 2 more after that in the 7th to win 6-0 to the final to make it 5 wins in a row. Well, this just in this evening, Malcolm Brogdon will not play in Game 5 tomorrow night. He was listed as out on the NBA's injury report. But I'd say the Bucks have been playing just fine without him, thanks to a true team effort from the starters to the bench players. Head coach Mike Budenholzer has been saying for weeks now that the one thing his team does is stay together, regardless of what's happening in the game. And that's what they're going to keep on doing.
We focus on each other and what it takes. So we're not worried about, other teams. We're going to keep, staying, locked in. Boy going to keep coming with us with a great game plan. We're just going to have fun out there.
So Game 5 tomorrow night at 7 at Fiserv Forum. If the Bucks win, they await the winner of the 76ers and Raptors. Toronto with a 3-2 series lead after a 125-89 win tonight. But as for the Bucks and Celtics, if Games 6 and 7 are necessary, they would be split between TD Garden and Fiserv Forum. Well, you've definitely seen Badger running back Jonathan Taylor turn on the jets and race into the end zone for touchdowns. But did you know he also runs track for the Badgers? He's part of the 4x100 relay team as of this season. The former 4-time high school state champion sprinter impressed head coach Mick Byrne at the Penn Relays. JT will be part of Wisconsin's team at the Big Ten Outdoor Championship meet in Iowa City this weekend. And Coach Byrne, needless to say, loves having him on the team.
He has a presence, there's no doubt about it, and we could see that in Philadelphia. He felt very comfortable there. Which is it was awesome to see. He's a track guy, that's for sure. You could see that he's was involved in the sport in high school. His high school team came along to cheer him. His high school coach, just that real presence down on the field was amazing to see.
And finally tonight, Marquette men's basketball head coach Steve Wojciechowski will be sticking around. The Golden Eagles extending his contract through the 2023-2024 season. No word yet on how much his contract is worth. In his 5 seasons at Marquette, Coach Wojo led the team to a 97-69 record, including 2 NCAA tournament appearances. We'll be right back.
You could be waking up to some wet streets out there for the morning commute.
That's the plan for tomorrow, and it's probably going to take you a little longer for that morning commute with the scattered showers picking up early in the day and lasting throughout the morning and into the afternoon. We do have the chance also to see some stronger thunderstorms later in the day, and all of this rain could lead to some isolated flooding by early Thursday morning. So we do have that alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. Notice it's going to be quite a bit cooler outside and very windy. Those gusts could get up to 35 miles per hour later in the afternoon. So keep the umbrella on hand and try to stay inside in the evening if you can.
All right, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.